And Treble, what item did you go with?
The Cloak of Many Fashion.
And where did you come across this?
Got it off a dead body. Just that I just found dead. Not somebody I killed, just I found dead.
But who was it, and where did it happen? Under what circumstances?
Just a human that was next to a dead horse, I guess, killed by somebody that I didn't see, I guess.
Everything else was picked clean off of him, and the colors.
And it's your goal, if you ever do something, make it shiny, you're gonna have to turn it over to your dragon patron.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to think real hard about it.
Have to consider it.
The dragon, like, you finally decide to do it, and you go to the dragon. He's just like, "What is this bullshit?"
So in recent history, say maybe a matter of months or so ago, you guys came together. You beat off the last of these orcs who were attacking Lester Hedgehog pastures, put the village to rights, and decided you were going to start traveling across the land, doing this for succeedingly larger and larger villages until the whole place is unified. That's the goal.
Yep.
So let's determine where is this first direction going to take place. Now that we have some labels on this map, where did you guys start traveling towards?
Lizardmen seems logical, since this is all swamp.
So crossing the river over to this shallow lake.
So, like, taking like this northeast trip, cross this river, cross this other river, and then head to the southeast.
Because like it makes sense to me to go down this way and take care of business here, because the orcs seem to be a bigger problem than the goblins, at least to our party.
Let me draw this out to make sure we're all thinking the same thing. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to use to plan out our first adventure next week.
Okay.
So at some point in the first 5 or 10 experience levels or so, because last campaign I asked you guys, what plane do you want to go to and have an adventure on? And we got lots of good adventures out of those answers. So what sort of adventure, looking at the map now, knowing kind of who lives where, what wrongs need to be righted, knowing now a little bit about everybody's backstory, and having a long-term goal, what kinds of adventures are you guys interested in having on this continent?
I want to go to the plane of limbo.
That's not on the continent.
You haven't had enough of limbo? You want to go back?
I couldn't resist, sorry.
Limbo sucks.
Brick said literally one thing to avoid, and no matter how low he set that bar, you had to figure out how low you could go.
Yep, pretty much.
Keeping in the spirit of the campaign, we'll be staying on the prime material, and we won't be going south of the wall. But other than that, I'm open to essentially any suggestion. And I'd like to try to get like one good one from each of you.
I'd have to think on that for a minute.
Well, that's why I told you I was going to ask this before we went live, like 3.5 hours ago.
It's not enough time.
That's a big question.
I mean, I'd like to go up into the woods that are connected to the Feywild and have some sort of misadventures with the malign powers that originate from there.
Weird Feywild adventure.
Yep.
Good, because there's a lot of Feywild creatures I haven't had a chance to use yet.
Let's run afoul of some pirates.
Yeah. I was going to say, the party makeup that we have running into pirates is going to be hilarious. But
Pirates are always good.
since McDole took mine.
Sorry. Great minds think alike.
No, more like you just copied me, but it's fine.
You preemptively copied him.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? I want to deal with the Lord of Blades. So
Fuck!
Blade.
fuck you.
That was mine. I wanted to go to a crazy robots puzzle dungeon. That's fine. I can change that. Crazy goblins puzzle dungeon.
Well, I already ran that for you guys. It's now a published adventure on DM's Guild called The Hatch Opens.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with your version of goblins at all, actually.
So, do we just put you down for crazy puzzle dungeon?
Crazy puzzle dungeon. We can determine the race as need be.
All right.
I'd like for us to like. I'm guessing just like have to sneak in like some kind of settlement to take it over. I guess I don't know.
Like an evil
infiltration
line settlement, infiltrate it from the outside.
Yeah,
This is an OSP mission.
pretty much. Yeah, that's a good.
adventure, so it's definitely not procure on site.
So
I mean-
as far as infiltrating like an established civilization, the best candidates I would say would be the Yuan-ti. They have ancient civilizations that you can infiltrate with illusions. They're being particularly sneaky because they're not the kind of people you want to take head on anyway. Other candidates would be like kobold nests or anything in the Underdark. Maybe some evil aligned Firbolgs somewhere. Or one of these exile human settlements. Or do you not
What
have
about
a
one of
preference?
these? What about like some, human necromancer or something that decided to make a kingdom for themselves over here?
Infiltrate the undead army?
Yeah.
Isn't that a Planescape Torment mission?
Alright.
Also, you said evil Fearbugs, and now I just have this idea in my head of this really jolly evil Fearbug. And it's terrifying.
Excellent. So now I've got a lot of adventure ideas to work on. Do any of your characters have strong connections to their religions in as far as like the living gods go? Other than we know Birdie does, because Birdie's like living god was mostly killed by orcs, and he's supposed to be bringing shiny treasures back.
I'm gonna say mine does, just because I really liked that thing in the Volos, where like the main reason why Aarakocra would go on a mission is to try to find lost pieces of the staff of the Wind Dukes of Akka, and nobody ever does, but they still send out people anyway because it's just their way of paying tribute to their gods.
Okay. And we can one of the Wind Dukes will have his like material palace on this big mysterious island up here, which I have marked as Aarakocra anyway.
Sounds good.
So you're like an acolyte of this Wind Duke then.
Yeah.
I just keep hearing you guys say "wind dude."
Well,
That's fine.
he's that too.
That's good.
How does Red view the Yuan-ti religion?
He's forsaken it.
Forsaken it.
Since
okay.
I believe I can't remember off the top of my head if it's primarily demon or devil based, but
I would probably devil.
Devil?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Snake based.
So he has actually, significantly made a forsaking his old religion,
It's destined
and he
lock.
currently does not have a religion.
It's just lock
We
again.
killed him already.
You only killed his shadow. What about Raazu?
Raazu is kind of in the middle of a crisis.
Crisis of faith.
Yeah, because like Lubiet was her existence before getting captured, and now that she's kind of been ostracized from her people and cut off, she's kind of like looking for something else to kind of fit into.
Well,
Like
there's lots of
taking over the
candidates
world.
out there. There's one of these. There's the guy up there named the Lord of Blades.
Maybe.
I mean, months and months ago, Destil, his first character concept was going to be a Warforged, and he sent me some Eberron material to read about the Warforged and the Lord of Blades. I'm like, oh, I've got to put this asshole in the campaign. That is just wonderful.
You're welcome, by the way.
When I play a Paladin in the Lord of Blades, you hated him.
I just hate all your characters.
He even had a Kobold army.
And Adrex, you've also kind of forsaken your dragon god.
Yeah, because it's probably what, Tiamat, and that. Yeah, no.
Not Tiamat. I mean, it could be, but if it was Tiamat, then we're establishing that Tiamat is a living, actual creature that lives on the prime material plane here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but, yeah.
I was thinking in terms of just a particularly old and venerable ancient white dragon that commands near godly powers of magic.
Nah.
Or we just say Tiamat. It's also good.
Nah.
Bahamut.
Thing about Tiamat, Tiamat's got 1,000 hit points.
Does she? That's good to know.
She also has a cult.
Yeah, I don't see
And-
Adrex as being particularly religious. So.
Okay.
And a
But that
weakness of
doesn't-
pain.
That doesn't mean he doesn't support other people who are religious, though.
So by and large, religion in this, at least in this continent, doesn't really rely on faith because the gods are alive. The gods are like this Winduke. You don't really need faith in this Winduke because he maintains a palace. His acolytes can make pilgrimages there, provided they can fly.
Right.
And same thing with like these ancient dragons and the devils of the Yuan-ti. And we have reached basically the end of my notes here. Does anybody have a blank spot on their character sheet that's not filled yet? Are we kind of
I
done
don't have
across
any
the board?
money.
Did you start with any as per your background or your...
No. I removed it.
Oh, that's right, because you're going to take a long sword and a longbow that you can't use yet.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh yeah.
I'll
Let me
remove
look
these.
one thing up.
Yeah, I gotta do starting equipment.
Because one of the things it had me start with was like a holy symbol of my deity, and I figure my outfit is my holy symbol.
Like your cloak is a holy symbol of
Yeah,
the Winduke.
right.
Because it billows dramatically.
Because it billows dramatically, yeah.
Okay.
What, they don't hand out the good magic items as holy symbols?
Not at level 0, they don't.
Yeah.
So what does everybody have? Like, I've got a Tinker's kit. Somebody's got a poison.
I've
kit.
got herbalism kit.
Are the rules for using the Poisoner's kit? Those are in Xanathar's, I believe. They've got extended rules for what Poisoner's
good
kits
ones
can do.
are.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually started with the Poisoner's Kit. I think I'm just proficient with one.
Oh.
That's weird.
If you didn't start with one, then we'll be on the lookout to get one for you then. You know, go ahead and start yourself with any tool proficiencies you have, because how did you get proficient in it if you haven't practiced the craft?
Okay.
Apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's...
Starting with a horn.
I mean,
He got poisoned real good a few times. And
except Yuan-ti are immune to poison.
that's how you got good at it.
So I need cards and a Poisoner's Kit, and someone needs a land. You need a land vehicle.
Yeah. I think I'm okay with not starting.
Why don't even... What does that even entail, land vehicles?
It's like running a cart.
carriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a wagon.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll
Like I
not
can
start
drive
you.
a wagon.
We'll not start you with a wagon. You know how to drive a wagon, but we're not going to start you with one.
If we want to buy a wagon, we can do so. They're not that expensive.
Every time I've started players off with a wagon or something, I've just destroyed it within the first couple sessions anyway.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's I did it again when I ran Curse of Strahd, and they're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see.
I don't know. I feel like having a wagon in Curse of Strahd is pretty thematic.
So, like, apparently land vehicles covers chariots, howdahs, wagons, carts. I don't know what a howdah is.
Goes on top of an elephant.
You're not
Or
going to
a
have an elephant.
Triceratops.
Or a Triceratops.
Dude, please.
You say that now, but you don't know how this campaign's going to go.
That's my new goal.
I know there will
We
be
had
no
a Triceratops
wild
last
shaping.
campaign. We had two at one point.
Okay, so I've added playing cards and a poisoner's kit for my
Yeah.
proficiencies to my inventory.
The other thing you guys might want to bone up on in between sessions before next week is the downtime actions in Xanathar. Work really, really well. We've been using them in my Saturday game, and they're really good for gaining little benefits in between adventures, as long as you can make it to a settlement or something. You basically decide how much downtime you're taking, how much gold you want to spend on the events, then you make a roll to see how successful you are. And you can use this to like try to purchase magic items or get favor from a temple, or there's rules for pit fighting. I think there's rules for like literally doing nothing, just relaxing.
Just carousing.
Carousing is in here because the DMG only had carousing and 2 other things.
I just love that they made updated carousing rules.
Yep.
Because they were like, man, there's just not enough rules for carousing yet.
And is that, you said that's in Xanathar?
Yes.
What page is that on?
That's a good question.
If you go to
123. I just flipped my book open to it.
if you don't own the physical rules and you're just going from D&D Beyond, you go up to the top to Compendium, mouse over it, Rules, Xanathars, and then from there you can see like everything. So it's under Dungeon Master's Tools. Downtime Activities.
And then Treble. Page 114 in Xanathars is where it starts giving examples of simple traps. These are the kind of things you would be able to build with your Tinker Tools.
Okay.
As long as they don't have like a magical component, and as long as they're not like really advanced. Like they gave examples like a bear trap, like a tripwire that fires off a crossbow trap. These are just examples. They're not. You're not necessarily going to be using this stuff, but
Yeah. When I asked like if I could make simple like mechanical devices,
Mhm.
things like bear traps or just simple like cranks and maybe like modifying a crossbow or something came to mind to like shoot a wrapped up net.
yep, that's exactly what you would use Tinker Tools to do.
Yeah.
To build little devices. Although the best Kobold device, I forget which book it is now, but he's got the scorpion on the end of his stick. I think that's in Volos, actually. And it's actually in the 2nd edition monster manual, the generic Kobold. He just has a stick with a scorpion hanging off of the end of it. Just,
Poke
I like the kobolds because they do stuff like they'll lay mud down, but they'll put caltrops under the mud, but they're not heavy enough to like go far down in the mud to step on the caltrops.
is there any equipment that you guys think your characters should start with that you're not given outside of the tools that I just gave you?
No, I'm pretty happy with my character owning very little.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else starts with a little bit of gold, right?
Except me, yeah.
Because that's
Which,
what I was
again,
going to
I
offer.
like.
You can take the little
Yeah.
bit of gold that you started with and trade it off for other equipment that you think you have. But it sounds like everybody's happy with what they've got right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does I lost it. I was going to ask a question. Never mind. I lost it.
Well, now is the time for asking questions, because it looks like everybody's character's done. I've got all these great adventure ideas sitting here. We've hammered down a little bit of what the world is doing.
What is everybody thinking like they're going to like attack with? Because I am not going to be up front, like if I can help it.
I'm going to be largely ranged in melee. So everything.
I have 2 swords.
Raazu uses a halberd.
I'm going to be up there with stabbing and slashing.
I mean, I
The
usually
way I
like to...
envision my character is kind of making use of that Aarakocra thing where they dive attack things. So like taking some shots at ranged and then moving in to finish stuff off.
Okay, so what does everybody's special like racial thing like? Kobolds, they have 2 racial abilities. One of them is cower, beg, and plead, which like everybody that sees me do this, like everybody in my group gets advantage on all attack rolls against everybody that sees me cower for my life.
That sounds like a long rest recharge.
I can tell you. I think it is actually, but no, it says once per short rest.
Yeah, that'll work too.
As an action on your
mine-
turn, you can cower pathetically to distract nearby foes. Until the end of your turn, your allies gain advantage attack on attack rolls against enemies within 10 feet of you that can see you, within 10 feet. And the other one
mine-
is
No,
the other,
continue.
and the other one is pack tactics, where I get advantage on rolls against anybody that is being attacked by. You have advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of your allies is 5 feet of the creature, and your
That's
ally
really good
isn't,
for a rogue.
and your ally isn't incapacitated. But on the other hand, I gain instant disadvantage on attack rolls, perception rolls, or anything that relies on sight if I'm indirect.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
like
he's-
the pack tactics in combat, like they're designed to like cancel each other out. But yeah, no,
I don't see any reason to work during the day.
yeah.
So mine are mostly passives. I have dark vision. I have a little bit of spell casting, and then I can make poison and get into people's minds and snakes' minds later. And I have magic resistance, and I'm immune to poison.
This is
so-
a very important question. Then, does anybody not have dark vision?
I don't.
I don't.
Okay.
Double
Okay.
check. I'm pretty sure I don't.
Raazu is dark vision, yes.
What are Raazu's racial abilities?
Let's see here. +2 to Constitution, +1 to Intelligence. Got dark vision to 60 feet
Word.
with see within dim light. I just get free martial training, but I'm already proficient in everything. Simple and martial because of saving face. This is the silly one. Hobgoblins are careful not to show weakness in front of their allies for fear of losing status. You miss with an attack roll or fail an ability check or saving throw, you can gain a bonus to the roll equal to the number of allies you can see within 30 feet of you, maximum of +5.
And what
And it's
recharge is
once-
that?
Once per short rest.
That's a pretty good one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really good.
I have a speed of 25 feet, but a flying speed of 50. And then I begged this one from Brick at the end of last campaign, and hopefully he's still into it. But I begged the Monster Manual ability from Aarakocra, which
Is that
is that if you're flying and you do a dive attack on a creature, you add 1d4 to the damage.
Hey y'all, I got a breath weapon.
Oh, I also have proficient in unarmed strikes, but I already did because I'm a monk.
I do cold damage in a 15-foot cone.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
How often can I use it?
So the Aarakocra
How-
unarmed strike, does that give you? Because I know the
Sure.
Tabashi unarmed strike has bonus.
Yeah, I
damage.
think it's slashing rather than
it's slashing
bludgeoning?
rather than bludgeoning.
yeah.
But does it do higher? Because unarmed strikes typically only do 1 damage.
Yeah, it does 1d4, but again, like that's
Okay.
something that I already did.
Okay, so you can either take that 1d4 or you can take whatever your unarmed is for monk, whichever is higher.
Which is 1d4.
Okay, but it won't be 1d4 forever.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You'll level up,
Yeah.
it'll be 1d6. Okay,
The
and
racial
it's slashing
D10s
instead of
at the
bludgeoning.
end.
I'll actually let you choose between slashing and bludgeoning for unarmed strikes.
That makes sense, because, like, I might not necessarily be using my hands to attack. I might be kicking something.
I wouldn't if you weren't a monk, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And to answer your other question, Red usually mixes it up. He uses his rapier, but he also has poison spray at range and a short bow.
All right. Too many rogues in this group.
There's 2.
That's too many.
How many?
Too many.
I was looking for like 0.
Like, well, I wanted to be a bard, but
So what are you guys gonna do for healing?
I have an herbalist kit.
like,
The paladin's being very silent right now.
Okay.
Get dice.
I have 5 hit points per rest, I think.
I have proficiency in medicine.
Yeah, 5 points per long rest.
yeah, but you have to take a feat to heal people with that.
We'll get there.
Sorry, is that what you're planning to do with your medicine?
I guess.
I was testing to see if McDole knew that he had lay on hands as a class feature.
Oh yeah.
I guess lay on pause because you're a hobgoblin.
Well, the way I'm thinking about skinning it though is that she like may not know a whole lot about herbalism itself, but she knows like a quick like poultice type recipe that she can prepare when she's taking a.
It's battlefield medicine.
So that brings up my one last note. Basically, is this is a low magic campaign, in as far as there's no spell casting, but you all have various racial features which have a magic component to them, especially Destil's character. At this time, though, if you want to reskin your racial feature like he just did in such a way where it's not magical, it's mundane instead, this would be a good time to talk about that. So, like, instead of getting, like, a lay on hands from his oath or his divinity, he's skinning it as he whips together these poultices, and that's where it's coming from. The idea being it's no longer magical. Now it's a mundane ability. Whereas your smites, I'm assuming you're going to keep those as, like, your righteous fury of your oath.
Yeah.
So they would count as magical. Does anybody else have a feature they want to try to reskin like that?
I don't think I really have anything that's magical.
Yeah,
So you take elemental path and.
I think I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll make my poison cloud just spitting poison
Like out of your eyes or out of your mouth?
out of my mouth.
That's gross.
That's good though.
That's disturbing.
Who spits poison out of their eyes?
Snake.
Frogs. Some frogs do.
Dan McNinja? No, he had knife eyes.
I think I'll keep the apostle tongue though,
Okay.
as kind of magic and suggestion when I get it. But yeah, no, I can spit poison instead of casting a spell. It's cool.
That sounds good to me. And it scales at level 5 and level 11.
Yeah, it's
right?
just like it's a cantrip.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and 16, I think. It's like the only thing that I have that uses my highest ability. So
You can hear Brick wanting to say that this campaign is not going to go to 16, but having to not say it.
Wait.
yeah, because that's what he said last time.
Was Mr. Dwyer about to say something?
I think I remember the movie Reign of Fire.
Should I
showing-
not take medicine as a proficiency, do you think?
I mean, it'll be helpful to stabilize people, and there is a
Yeah.
feat that you can use your medicine to heal people as well.
And the other thing is that like, it's good for like flavor because like we have a lot of skills tossing around in this party. You would essentially be the person we went to if we needed to figure out what had happened to someone. And you can run this by Brick Road, but in my campaign, I also let people use medicine checks in order to figure out how to cure something.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of diseases that say like this ends after an hour or this ends after you do X. I let them like roll on medicine to figure that stuff out.
In the tool proficiency section of Xanathar's, under every single type of tool, there's a list of skills you could use that tool with. These are synergies. So basically, if medicine is listed under any of these tools and someone else in your group has that tool, the two of you can work together to create that effect. So what they did in this chapter is they made all the skills better and they made all the tool proficiencies better as well.
I ended up not taking survival, so I imagine I'll be working with whoever has survival and medicine to make my potions.
Yeah, Raazu's got survival, so I guess it'd be kind of a team effort.
Under
Birdie
brewer's
also-
supplies and medicine, if you have medicine and brewer's supplies, it grants additional insight when you treat anyone suffering from alcohol poisoning. Or when you can use alcohol to dull pain. So you get to do cool stuff like that. As far as class features go, like Battlemaster fighters are already pretty. They're not. There's not a whole lot of magic there. Action surge, superiority dice, etc.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
You're
What's
gonna like a McDole. I had a lot of fun with it.
What's the name of the feat I use with medicine?
It's in the PHB, I believe.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Probably healer or.
I think it's called healer.
Yeah, that says nothing about the medicine skill.
No, it allows you to. It gives you another ability. Oh, it sure doesn't. I guess you just can use the.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it anyway. I think because
Right.
God knows I'm gonna fucking.
Oh, so you start with a feat?
No.
Nobody starts with a
No, notice that I'm planning ahead.
Whenever there's a skill that you're the only one who knows it, you can always find an opportunity to use it, unless it's animal handling, in which case animal handling is the most useless skill.
So with healer, as an action, you can use one use of your healer's kit to restore a d6 plus 4 hit points to it. So yeah, you can use that healer feat to actually restore hit points as long as you are proficient in either medicine or a healer's kit.
So we've got field medicine that we can do.
Well, once he gets to level 4 and can take a feat, he
Yeah.
does.
Until then, we'll work together to make these healing potions.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the other nice thing about healing potions is they don't follow the normal rules for creating a magic item. They only take like a day.
Yeah, there's rules for that in the DMG, and I think they expanded it in Xanathar. But
Yeah, that's straight out of Xanathar's because the DMG didn't have it, which was really hard on me when I was trying to deal with an alchemist member of my game.
okay. Which brings me to one other rule we're going to relax a little bit. Usually, you cannot use a spell scroll unless it's on your class's spell lists. None of you have spells on your class's spell lists, so we're going to use different rules for spell scrolls, but I'm not going to be introducing them just yet.
I thought you were going to say, and I was going to scream, when you cast a spell and it doesn't normally consume the component, it won't this time. And I was... Prick road.
There are no spells, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Allegedly. No spells.
No, actually, the new rules is when you cast a spell, it consumes all of the other components. The component...
It always consumes a 100 GP pearl.
Right. We're probably going to have to codify rules for identifying magic stuff as we go. Because nobody's going to have access to identify it all.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll worry about that when we come to it.
Use identifying. That's the way.
That could be dangerous.
Riding Elbereth in the floor.
And that's it. We all have characters, and I'm going to put together an adventure, so session 1 next week will go off swimmingly. Does anybody else have any questions or any changes or anything? Otherwise, we have just... we got about an hour to sit here and shoot the shit.
You said we can, like, any money we have, we can use to just buy whatever we want, right?
Anything you think your character should reasonably start with, yeah. Like,
I was just gonna buy like darts and stuff.
I was going to buy a set of clothing.
You can have
that's
my
not fun.
darts. I'll just give them to you. I'm going to be using my short bow, probably.
A monk without darts? Come on.
So, here's the thing. That, like, when I realized this monk rule made me scream even more at that time that McDole attacked a guy in the last dungeon and did 1d4 damage. Monks are proficient with short bows, and if you use a short bow, then your damage is your monk's unarmed strike damage.
Oh, that's cool.
That doesn't work with darts, though. Those stupid frickin' darts.
That's super cool. I didn't know that rule.
They give you darts, though. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but you were like level 16. You didn't have to rely on your starting gear anymore. I think is...
Yeah, it's under martial arts. When you use... Oh, no. You can roll a d4 in place of the normal damage of your unarmed strike or monk weapon.
Oh, yep. That makes
Okay.
sense.
So,
Hey,
like-
Nodal, you know this app the best. Where do I buy things versus just adding them to my sheet?
You don't. You just add them to your sheet and then subtract
And
the
then
amount of
remove
gold.
money. Okay.
But yeah, so like later on, like I'm already kind of like thinking about stuff I might eventually do. I might eventually take a whip just to have like a cool melee weapon that does actual decent damage.
Are you both crossbow rogues?
I have
I'm
a
going to use a short bow and then a long. Oh, the rogues, the actual rogue.
I'm planning on probably switching to a crossbow, but right now I just got a short bow.
Like,
I'm a rapier rogue for the most part, and I use the short bow if I need to.
okay. I'm solidifying my place up in the front line, is what I'm.
Yeah, no, I'm
Well, so the thing is, once I get to 3rd level, I can just make someone else get advantage on their next attack as a bonus action.
I'm investing in chainmail, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm seriously considering eventually taking Sentinel just for how messed up that would be if I was fighting something flying. Just going up into the air and knocking things out of the sky.
See, that's what I was planning on taking. My first feat was Sentinel.
They don't
Sentinel's
have
a great feat.
It
They don't
really
have-
is.
gold costs for stuff in the.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't have it in the app, so you have to have the player's hand.
Kenzei are like the cool thing about Kenzei is that you eventually are considered to be basically having a shield because you can use your Kenzei weapons as a shield,
Something you want on a
but only when you're in melee.
Something you want to consider, Brick, is adding another wondrous item with charges since we're all the lucky feet. So we have a way to track how many lucky tokens we have.
You don't have a lucky feat. What you have is blips. That
All
give
right.
you that's going to give you access to
Did I-
rerolls and things.
Did I just make up that whole part where...
No, that was a thing that Brick had mentioned before that he has changed his mind on.
Okay.
You didn't make it up; it's just old.
Okay.
Because we had discussed previously just letting everybody have lucky because it worked really well in Curse of Strahd, but that's effectively what we're doing by giving everybody blips. So instead of just having like one inspiration point, you can bank essentially 3 of them and use them at your discretion instead of having them like recharge every day or whatever.
You got it.
It's 100. It's like 100 to go up to the next. It's like 100 copper is a silver. Silver is a gold. Right?
Yeah. Oh no, it's
No,
10?
it's tens.
Yeah, it's
10?
10.
It's
Yeah.
10, okay.
No, you're. This isn't WoW.
Copper, silver, gold, platinum.
Yeah, Electrum is...
Half whack.
if you ever see Electrum anywhere, just read silver. Because that's how,
It's
they
like
count it in
gold
Sigil.
1.5.
Gold 0.5.
If we ever see Electrum somewhere, I'm not gonna touch it because it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Who thought Electrum was a good idea?
Gary
I don't
Gygax.
know, it's weird.
It's totally a Gygax thing.
Fucking guy.
It's like
man.
we have this standard money system that makes sense and it just goes in tens, and then here's this weird half step between two of them.
Yep.
So I start with a changer. Do I start with changer? What do I start with?
I'm starting with
Chainmail.
nothing, baby.
Chain
I know
mage.
what our Battlemaster fighter does in our group is he uses a lot of his turns to use that Commander Strike to let the rogue attack twice. And pile up that sneak attack.
Well, I thought you can only use that once per round, and that's why I couldn't give that to Zook. And when I was
No, you can use sneak attack once per turn.
Yeah, so...
Does that mean it works on an opportunity attack? Because it's no longer
Yes,
my turn.
it very
Yes.
much does mean that. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, one of our rogues could use sneak attack, and then your turn can come around, you can use Commander Strike to give them another sneak attack. And then the second rogue You guys are going to be doing a lot of sneak attacking, I think. So all of the monsters are going to have 3 times as much hit points.
McDole, if you go to the More tab under Equipment, and you actually click the equipment link, it'll list out all of your starting gear options, as well as stuff
Yeah.
you can choose.
Yeah, you can just go through it. It'll do the starting gear. It's actually really convenient.
Oh yeah, no, I did run. I was just kind of seeing what other options I had right here, and they're very expensive.
The 1,000 ball bearings are actually listed as 1,000.
Yeah, if you want to use them one at a time.
I mean, use them as ammunition in a slingshot or something.
And Treble, you're going to want to look up Tucker's Kobolds this week.
Okay.
Be right back.
Read the story of Tucker's Kobolds. It's pretty good. It'll inspire you.
Like I picked my equipment specifically. Like, okay, what would be if I have the chance to make life difficult for somebody coming after us? Can I do? We'll see if that works out.
That's what ball bearings are for. I'm going to save this map here.
That's our party motto. We'll see if that works out.
Let's see. I've got 10 gold. That's not much.
Probably want to save it after we delete these numbers.
I don't care. I mean, we're not going to load up this map again. I'm just using this so I can annotate my map on the side here with
I
these
gotcha.
place names and things.
So, 50 foot of hempen rope costs enough for somebody to live on.
Dude, 50 feet of rope.
Yep.
It's a lot of rope.
It takes a long time to smoke 50 feet of rope. Do we have anything else we need to finalize?
No, I'm pretty happy with my stuff.
Yeah.
I've got Pythons, so we're all set.
Yeah, climbing gear. There
I
you go.
just love the idea of an Aarakocra having Pythons. For all that climbing I do.
Well, we could be in a smaller space where you can't get lift.
I seem to recall you guys using a lot of pythons to like chock open doors
Wedge
and
doors, yeah.
wedge machinery together. And
I'm seriously considering swapping out either my animal handling or acrobatics for stealth. I know it's crazy for a monk to not have acrobatics, but I'm just thinking my dex is already pretty high, and a lot of the cool stuff I'd want to do to get on top of stuff, I can just fly there. So why would my character have gotten proficient in using their legs rather than just flying?
Acrobatics would mostly be useful to escape grapplings.
I could see you making you have to roll acrobatics for aerial acrobatics, because that's a thing.
But yeah, Destil's right. Acrobatics is most useful for escaping grapples, and I do so love my grapple creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, but stealth is really fun. And if I take stealth and perception, I'm a pretty good party scout. So that would be something that I could do, that I could actually provide for the party.
What is your passive perception right now?
I can fly.
I mean, that's
How do you hide when you're
asking
flying?
what it is right now.
It's 16, but I mean, it's a factor of being able to do a thing. I realize whenever we're standing next to one another, you have the higher passive perception.
No, just by one. I'm just asking. That's why I was like.
I mean, the main thing I would like about that is we could have team go kill some people with stealth. The three of us just go off somewhere, start a fight, and the rest can start firing down arrows or whatever.
Raise your hand if you think the first thing that happens in this campaign isn't going to be Nodal getting both of his wings permanently broken.
That's fine. I know how to make healing potions.
I'm glad I didn't decide to be an Erd then.
I love that I'm proficient in the horn.
Make it like a bugle and be like, doo, 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 doo.
What it goes.
I just
I can do that, but only one person can hear it.
Be in the middle of the town, just blow it. Yeah. Put a hat down for tips.
None of you guys picked a magic item that requires attunement, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Do any of those require attunement?
Some of them
There
do.
are a few, yeah.
All right, so the last thing we need to decide, and I actually need an answer on this, either today or tomorrow at latest, so I can, because it's going to add to my workload, is what character do you want on your little token for this campaign?
Oh.
I was thinking just figure out any sort of old NES sprite that would represent your character.
See, I was thinking we use the Final Fantasy III sprites again, except we have to use the monsters this time.
Yeah,
Final
I was
Fantasy
thinking the same thing.
I'll be honest, because Nodal's playing a bird who's exceptionally annoying, I was going to give him one of the birds from Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, hell yeah, I definitely want a Ninja Gaiden bird.
So, I mean, you want to look at the old Final Fantasy sprites and pick a monster?
I don't know, you just changed my mind pretty severely.
Ninja Gaiden bird's a good idea too. But yeah, just
I want to be Snakeman.
Snakeman? He sounds so excited. All right. I mean, that's perfect. That's actually...
Color flip it to red, though.
Also, if I take the Ninja Gaiden bird, I have to take stealth.
Do you want me to put you down for Ninja Gaiden bird?
Heck yeah.
What physical characteristics do purebloods have? They basically look like humans, except they've got
they're humans with whatever. I mean, it's basically whatever. I think the only thing that my character has that you'll notice when he's wearing his normal hooded cloak is that his eyes are red and snake-like.
Okay.
He has some scales and whatnot, but he doesn't usually. That's not visible.
Does anybody else know an old school NES sprite they'd like for this campaign?
I can't think of it.
I mean, McDole, you got lots of dragons to choose from, man. You've got like there are millions of 8-bit dragons out there.
Which is good because my mind is blanking.
I'm linking. I'm linking the from a Final Fantasy VI repository.
Okay.
Any one of the halberd wielding armor dudes
Dole, you should just
from here.
be an imp from Final Fantasy.
See, I was thinking Dragon Lord.
Thought about Dragon Lord.
Where are you pasting this link?
I'm pasting it now in the party chat. Final Fantasy VI, the halberd guys with the
Oh, the Bio Knights.
Those are from 5, like the sickle guys.
those are from 5.
Oh.
Yeah, this is from 6. The Imperial soldier looking.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. The guys in the armor.
Yeah.
Like one of the Templars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you use the blue one, the general over there on the right. I like the blue color more.
Okay. Did Treble say he wanted the Final Fantasy imp?
No,
No.
I'm looking.
You could do
I said Dole
Kuro-
should be the imp.
Kuromimi from Suikoden.
Yeah, but kobolds in D&D are little lizards. They're not dog people.
That's true.
Here- I'm gonna put something in the Discord for your perusal real quick, just because it's the thing that I immediately thought of, and I need you all to look at it.
I actually can't get into the party chat. I must not have been invited
Oh,
to my laptop.
you must not have Brick Road on the Lappy in there. That's why.
Yeah, let me fix that.
Yeah, they do look pretty dog-like in that one. Yeah. Pool of Radiance, yeah. Share that with the rest of the chat, I guess.
Brick, if you want, I'm editing it right now so that you can see everything in there. Plus, yeah, check, yeah.
I still don't know how
you can-
Discord works after 2 years.
It's cool, I got you. Save changes.
All right.
There you are.
Neat. Oh, 50 plus new messages since November 19th.
Yeah, there's a lot of this.
Yeah, it's-
The best part of this picture is actually the party names, though.
Swish Dark,
Tag yourself, I'm Windgood.
Wind Good.
I'm Fire Death.
Bashflaw. Or is that an N? That's an N.
Bashflan.
Bashflan.
So you want that little? What game is that from?
Pool of Radiance.
Pool of Radiance. Never heard of it. That's the Kobold you want?
Nodal,
I
Put that
posted
up
that.
as-
Don't
Oh.
blame him.
give me a second.
always
Still-
blame Nodal.
Yep.
I'm looking through like Final Fantasies 1, 2, and 3 NES sprite.
I don't think there are any kobolds in.
No, there's not. They're like the only game. Apparently, the only Final Fantasy game with kobolds is 15. Looked on the wiki.
That's why I said get Kuromimi from Suikoden and you're good.
What game has a cool white dragon for McDole?
Here's an alternate idea for correct Suikoden character.
There are lizard people in Suikoden.
Gone, yeah.
Gone would be closer to what Birdie is anyway.
Hooray!
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Oh, I know. I got it.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
I know that my Twitch viewers are not privy to most of this because it's happening in the party chat, but
I searched Google for white dragon, and I'm seeing a lot of very muscular white dragons, so I think some people were working through some stuff.
Hold on. No, maybe that's not a good idea.
No, McDohl, get away from.
I do like how I specified like an 8-bit sprite, and then McDole's immediately like, "Oh, I wanted something from Final Fantasy VI."
Yeah.
Oh no, they are dragons. All right, cool. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Perfect. I'm not going to say in Twitch what that
Oh,
is, so they can
too
just
late.
be.
Too late. I already
Man.
pasted. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, McDole and I've actually completed that game together years and
McDole
years
literally
ago.
copying and pasting McDole.
I was actually just about to post that for just a different one. That's not quite the same street, but
All right, then we just need Treble sprite, and then we can be
I'm-
all done with session 0. That is pretty much the best dragon.
yeah, just go with the thing from It's
The
the
Pool of
no
Radiance
poster. Yeah.
Kobold. It's a
Yeah.
pretty good one. All right.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
good
a really
Kobold.
good. It's a good Kobold. Yeah.
Pools of Radiance, good game. It knows that the only levels you need is 1 to 3. 1 to 5?
All right, so when we convene next week, we will be adventuring along this pink line, headed toward the shallow lake of lizard men. Let's name this lake before we break tonight.
Which lake? Or
This one here that you guys are
Lizardman Shallow Lake?
working towards.
Deep scale.
It's not deep though. Shallow scale.
It's ironic.
Shallow scale.
Lizard men are known for being particularly literal.
I was about to say, are they like incapable of irony?
Just shallow lake.
Shallow lake.
Shallow lake pond.
Let's see.
So when we
Alright,
pick it
next
up
week we can start deciding which monsters we're racist against.
exactly. Yeah, next
I've
Sunday.
already got gargoyles.
I'm gonna put together. Oh, does anybody else have any racism they want to add to their character sheet here? I've got Raazu
Gnomes.
down for orcs, Nodal down for gargoyles, gnomes.
Red doesn't.
Like that's the only thing Birdie has. He doesn't like orcs. He doesn't like orcs because
Okay.
they killed everybody. Yeah.
Anything bigger than kobolds.
Red doesn't like Yuan-ti at all.
So we got an Uncle Tom Yuan-ti here.
Dang.
What about? Well, Adrex kind of loves everybody.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Like racism ain't cool.
What
Everybody's
I really
got
like
good
about Destil's Yuan-ti is that like it's not really like the one good Yuan-ti style Yuan-ti. It's a Yuan-ti that hates Yuan-ti, but through the lens of being a Yuan-ti.
Like he
Like
still
all
likes.
the things they do and think are extremely Yuan-ti. It's just they also hate Yuan-ti.
He still likes the poison and
Yeah.
the acid spit and all the good stuff. All right, so next Sunday we will get started in our first adventure with our new characters and our new campaign. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
And
Peace
for the
out.
rest of you, you guys are dismissed to go watch sports ball now.